Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to Petco Park here in San Diego, California, home of the 33-56 San Diego Padres, as they'll be playing host to our visiting Atlanta Braves, who are sitting at 54-33 on the season. Taking the mound for the Padres for only the second time this season is Jarred Cozart. He's been in the bullpen previous to his last start. He's making his second start, 5-1 with a 3.78, the former 38th round draft pick in 2008 out of Clear Creek High School in League City, Texas. And he'll be starting his day against LINCIARTE as he digs into the batter's box, the Gold Glove outfielder. First pitch of the game is taken for ball one, misses the bottom half of the strike zone, down and in. As the count runs 2-2 to LINCIARTE, here comes the offering from Cozart. That is going to be swung on and popped up into center field. Margot is camped under that one, and he retires it for the first out of the ball game. So one down. Let's take a look at each team's order, or the Braves' order now. Center field is LINCIARTE, followed by shortstop Dansby Swanson, first base Freeman, right field Kemp, left field Valencia, third base Marwin Gonzalez, catching is Roberto Perez, second base is Jace Peterson, recently called up from AAA, and then they're rounded out by the pitcher spots. So here is Dansby Swanson, who is second in the National League in batting average with a .326 average. Digs in with a 3-1 count. And here comes the pitch from Cozart. And that's going to be ripped down left field line. It is fair as it gets into the corner. And he rounds first, heads into second base easily. That is a stand-up double for Dansby Swanson. Here with one out in the top of the first. And now here comes Freddie Freeman. 324, 31 home runs, and 90-plus RBI already on the year. And we have just entered the month of July. So 2-1 count to him. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be swung on and fouled down the right field line. That is strike number 2, as it is now a 3-2 full count to Freeman. Cozart looks down the runner. Here it comes. And Freeman whiffs through that, cannot make contact on the big breaker as Cozart gets down. Freeman on strikes, and now here comes the cleanup hitter in Matt Kemp. 12 home runs on the year, having a bit of a down year compared to his last season numbers around this time where he was an all-star. Here comes the 1-1 after looking down the runners. That's going to be swung on and grounded out to third base, fielded by Coleman, fired across the diamond. That is out number 3. As the Braves, with one hit, do not get a run in, and it is still 0-0 here halfway through one. And we're back here for the bottom half of the first, where the left-hander Jaime Garcia is making the start for the Braves. 18th start of the season will be this start, 9-5 on the year with a 3.43 ERA. Having a good season after he's been reacquired by the Braves in the offseason after being traded last year at the trade deadline. He'll be starting off the day against Travis Jankowski. And that's whiffed through for strike number 1. So the 0-1 count now to Jankowski. Here comes the offering. That's going to be ripped down the right field line. Kemp, not the quickest guy, is going to have to try to cut it off in the corner. He does get it into the cutoff man, but Jankowski has himself an easy lead-off double. So already in scoring position here for the Padres, as here comes Manuel Margot, the prospect playing center field, struggling a bit at home, only hitting 178 at home compared to his 275 on the road. And he has a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be fouled off for strike number 2. So count runs 1-2 now to Margot. Garcia sets and delivers. And it's taken right down the middle for strike number 3. So backwards K from Margot. Now take a look at the Padres lineup. Right field Jankowski, center field Margot. First base Wil Myers, left field Alex Dickerson cleaning things up. Second baseman Corey Spangenberg. Shortstop Didi Gregorius. Third base Dusty Coleman. And catching is Luis Torrens, and then, of course, rounded out by the pitcher spot. So here is Wil Myers, arguably the best bat on this team. The first baseman, stepping in with no batting gloves. And a full count. Here comes the pitch. Whiff through the sinker. He goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jaime Garcia. And now it's 2 down with Jankowski still at second base. And here's Alex Dickerson, the cleanup hitter. 11 bombs on the year with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And 3 straight strikeouts for Jaime Garcia. He gets him to go down on the sinker as well. Garcia gets out of the jam, and 1 hit for each teams and no runs at the end of 1. Welcome back to Petco Park here for the top half of the second inning as Danny Valencia digs into the box at 289 on the year in that 5-hole for this Braves lineup. Digs in with a 1-1 count against Jared Cozart, the former Phillies farmhand. And here comes the pitch. That's going to be swung on and popped up into shallow center field as Margot is camped into that one. Can of corn for out number 1 as Valencia is retired. And that brings up the third baseman, Marwin Gonzalez, hitting .346 on this season. And he has taken over the starting everyday third baseman job. Here comes the first pitch. That's going to be swung on and somehow gets past Spangenberg. Looked like he had a play on it, but it just gets past his glove, skips right over it, and Margot's on first base. So 2-1 count now to the backup catcher, Roberto Perez, starting for the resting John Ryan Murphy. And he gets a ball right to the back of the thigh. It looked like it was a curveball that plunked him right in the back of the thigh. So first and second as he takes his base. And here is Jace Peterson. First pitch is whiffed through for a strike, changeup. Peterson was raking in AAA, so he's been called up to be a utility middle infielder. Here comes the 3-1. That is swung on and taken into the right center field gap. Runners will advance, and that's going to hop and skip up over the wall as Jace Peterson with a ground rule double strikes first for the Braves. 1-0 is the score. And here's the opposing pitcher, Jaime Garcia. Now the 2-2 is going to be lofted out into right field. Jankowski makes the play, but at an awkward angle has to get it in. Both runners tag, and both runners advance. 2-0 Braves on the sac fly from Garcia as Roberto Perez comes in to score. And the Braves have a 2-run lead. So they're back to the top half of the order now with LINCIARTE. Flew out in his first at-bat in the first inning. And digs in with a 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be dribbled out in front of the home plate as Cozart Fields fires the first and gets LINCIARTE just barely. And 2 runs do come across for the Braves, so they take a 2-0 lead here on 2 hits that inning, halfway through 2. Here we are on the top half of the 6th inning at Petco Park as Freddie Freeman digs into the box. He's walked and struck out in his previous at-bats as he digs in with a 2-0 count. And that's taken for ball number 3. So 3-0 count to Freddie Freeman. Count runs 3-1 now. Hitters count right where Freeman wants to be. Here comes the pitch. Check swing, did not like that low changeup, and it's a strike number 2. Couldn't do anything with a pitch, though, so it's a full count now. And here comes the pitch. That's going to be grounded past the diving glove of Spangenberg, and Freddie Freeman has himself a seeing eye single. Here they get at the top of the 6th started for the Braves. And now here comes Matt Kemp, the right fielder, 0 for 2 on the day, with a ground out and a pop out so far. 1-1 counts. Freeman on first. Cozart sets up the chest. Here's the offering. That's going to be chopped in front of the mound. Cozart fields himself, fires the first, and that is 1 down. Freeman moves up to second base as that is essentially a swinging bunt from the cleanup man. And now here comes the left fielder in Danny Valencia. 2 flyouts on the day, 287 on the season with 13 home runs. Coming off a 30 home run season in 2017, so you know he has some pop in that bat. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be taken out right to the shortstop, and he catches it on a line. Didi Gregorius makes the play, and it's 2 down. Now with Freeman on second base. And here's Marwin Gonzalez, 1 for 2 on the day, single back in the second inning. And they're going to intentionally walk him. They do not want anything to do with Marwin Gonzalez here, despite it being 2 outs and a runner on second. So they put him on intentionally, and now here is Roberto Perez, who got hit by a pitch earlier in the game, and he also grounded out. So here is the 1-1. That's taken for ball number 2 outside. So the 2-1 count to Perez. Runners on first and second. Cozart looks him down. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be blooped out into right field. It lands for a single. Freeman rounding third, heading home. He is safe at the plate as runners on the corners now, and Freeman scores. It is a 3-0 Braves lead as Roberto Perez drives in the run on a bloop RBI single, and that'll knock Jared Cozart out of the game. And here is Brad Hand, the left-hander, coming out of the pen for the 57th time this season, a 5.55 ERA. Not the best ERA there. And he's going to be facing the left-handed Jace Peterson, the 8th hitter in this Braves order. Here comes the pitch from Hand. And that's going to be grounded out to first. Myers field, steps in the bag himself, retires Peterson, but not before the Braves strike for one on a bloop single from Roberto Perez. 3-0 is the score here, halfway through 6. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 7th inning as Didi Gregorius digs into the batter's box for the Padres. He's over 2 with 2 strikeouts so far in the day. Here comes the 3-1, taken for ball number 4 as Garcia's starting to lose a bit of control here as he now has 96 pitches as he's through 6 innings. So Gregorius takes his base, and here is Dusty Coleman hitting 172 on the year, and he's 0 for 3 so far in the day. Or 0 for 2, I should say. The 2-1 pitch is going to run inside and plunk him on the leg as Dusty Coleman back-to-back walks for Jaime Garcia. So first and second, Coleman on first, Gregorius on second. Here's Luis Torrens, the former Yankees farmhand, and he will not be facing Jaime Garcia as he's taken out. And here comes Joe Biagini, the man acquired last year at the trade deadline from the Toronto Blue Jays. And still nobody out. Here comes the pitch. He's first pitch swinging. It's past the diving glove of Marwin Gonzalez. 1 run rounds third as Gregorius is going to score on the Torrens RBI single. And the Padres have themselves on the board as they make this a 2-run game. It is now a 3-1 score. And here comes Ketel Marte to pinch hit for the Padres pitcher in Jared Cozart, in Brad Hand. So here comes the 3-1. That's whiffed through for strike number 2. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. Biagini on the mound. Sets at the belt. Kicks and fires. That's a ground ball. Shortstop Swanson steps in the bag. Fires the first. And that is a 6-3 double play. But a run does come in to score as Coleman crosses the plate. And it's now a 1-run game. Here with 2 outs and nobody on. 3-2 is your score. And Jankowski gets one past the second baseman Peterson, nowhere near that one. So Jankowski, a speedy stolen base threat on first base. Biagini sets and delivers. That's in the dirt. Perez picks up, throw down to second is not in time. The tag was just a bit late as Jankowski moves up on the wild pitch. So 1-2 count now to Margot. And he grounds that one up the middle, fielded by Peterson, fires on the run. The scoop from Freeman, and that's out number 3, but not before the Braves strike for 2 in the inning. So you make it a 1-run game. It is 3 Braves, 2 Padres. The Padres struck for 2 is what I would meant to say here at the end of 7. Here we are in the bottom half of the 8th, where the Braves struck for 1 more in the top half, so it's a 4-2 score as Will Myers digs into the batter's box. No batting gloves and all. First pitch from Biagini is taken outside. Change up for ball number 1. Count runs 2-0. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be swung on and driven a long way to right center field. Linciarte gives chase. He's at the wall. Gives it a leap. And it is off his glove and over the wall for Will Myers. A solo shot makes this a 1-run game just with 1 swing of the bat. Here to lead off the bottom half of the 8th. 17th home run of the season off the glove of Linciarte. And now Kyle Crockett's going to come into the bullpen to replace Biagini as there are multiple left-handers up in this Padres order. The first of them being Alex Dickerson, who hits one in the left center field gap as Linciarte gives this one a chase into the corner, or into the gap, correction, as Dickerson heads into second base with a double. So it is still nobody out and a runner in scoring position in Dickerson. And here is Cody Spangenberg, who had a double earlier in the game. So nobody out, runner on second. Crockett sets at the belt. Here comes the pitch. Squares up for bunt, and it runs inside and hits him. Spangenberg squared up to bunt, just wanted to move the runner over, but he gets on base by intentionally hitting him. Not intentionally hitting, but just getting away from him. And then LASUAJE comes in a pinch run. Gregorius lays down the bunt. Gonzalez goes to second with it. They cannot turn two, but they do get the guy at second, so the force play at second is still available if they can get a ground ball. So Gregorius on first with a fielder's choice. Dickerson at third. 2-2 count now to Dusty Coleman. Crockett sets and delivers. That's going to be chopped in front of home plate. Crockett rushes to field, tosses to the plate, and it is not in time as Dickerson slides in front of the tag. And the Padres have tied this one up here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So runners on first and second now as Tanner Scheppers comes out of the pen to replace the left-hander Kyle Crockett. And here's Luis Torrens, who had the clutch RBI single back in the 7th. So 1-2, runners on first and second. That's going to be lined over the head of Freeman, fielded by Kemp. He's going to fire to the plate. Runner rounds third, heads home, and Gregorius is dead meat. Perez slaps on the tag from the beautiful throw from Matt Kemp. And it is still a 4-4 game as Yangervis Solarte now comes in to pinch hit. And Austin Hedges will be pinch running for Luis Torrens. So 0-2 count to Solarte. The pitch is going to be grounded out to second base. Peterson fields, tosses over to first, and that is the final out. But not before the Padres strike for 2 and tie this game up at 4 here at the end of 8. And this ball game is still tied here in extra innings. We are in the top half of the 10th as Craig Stamen comes on for the 52nd time this season. He is 0-7 on the year, desperately looking for a win for this Padres team. And he'll be facing Dansby Swanson to start off this inning. 0-1 count, here it comes. That's going to be swung on and taken opposite way, right field, and it's going to be foul, but just past the diving glove of Will Myers. So 1-2 count now to Swanson. That's going to be... He did not check his swing. Strike number 3, says the first base up, and Swanson goes down on strikes. So here comes the always dangerous Freddie Freeman. Here comes the pitch from Stamen. And you can kiss that one goodbye! Freddie Freeman comes up in extra innings and clobbers one into the right center field seats. Freddie Freeman gives the Braves a lead here in the top half of the 10th inning off Craig Stamen. 32nd home run of the year, 432 feet, and it's a 5-4 Braves lead. And here comes Adonis Garcia, who's coming in to pinch hit for the pitcher, who is in the 4-hole, thanks to a double switch earlier in the game. So 2-2 count to Garcia. The pitch from Stamen did not check his swing. That's strike number 3. So Garcia and Swanson both go down on attempted check swings. And now it's 2 down, but a 1-run lead thanks to Freeman's home run. And here's a full count to Valencia, who whiffs through the down in the way changeup, I should say, as Valencia, Garcia, and Swanson all go down swinging, but Freeman gives the Braves the lead. Here it's 5-4 halfway through 10. Braves now have a lead here, bottom half of the 10th, as Nick Vincent will come out of the bullpen looking for his 28th save of the season, a 3 ERA, and is making his 39th appearance here against the Padres in this game. 5-4 lead as Alex Dickerson is the leadoff man this inning, the cleanup hitter. 1-0 counts. Vincent sets at the chest and delivers. That's going to be chopped out to shortstop. Swanson charges, fires across the diamond, and makes a nice play to retire Dickerson for out number 1. As the goatee gets the first out. And now there is 2 more batters up for this Padres team. Here's Carlos LASUAJE, who came in to pinch hit for Spangenberg earlier in the game. Or pinch run, I should say. 1-2 count is taken for 2-2 outside, slider. So the 2-2 as Vincent sets at the neck. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be lined right at Freeman, catches it right before it hits the dirt, and it is 2 down as the goatee, Nick Vincent, is 1 out away from getting out of this game with a save. So 1-1 count to Didi Gregorius. And that's a perfect two-seamer on down and away corner. 1-2 count now. Vincent sets. Kicks and fires. He takes it on the outside half. Didi Gregorius goes down looking. And the Atlanta Braves come with the win here in extra innings over the San Diego Padres. Freddie Freeman was clutch with a long home run in the top half of the 10th to give them the 5-4 lead. And then Nick the Goatee Vincent comes on in the bottom half of the 10th and gets them the save. And of course, Freddie Freeman was player of the game. He was 2 for 3 with that go-ahead home run in the top half of the 10th. Marwin Gonzalez was 2 for 3 as well. Jace Peterson, his only hit was an RBI double. Arodys Vizcaíno, he got the win as he came on in the 9th and pitched a shutout inning. Nick Vincent gets his 28th save, while Craig Stammen is now 0-8 on the season as he gave up the home run to Freeman. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Atlanta Braves series. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye. For the victorious Atlanta Braves.